So Apartment Superstore was spawned out of a traditional real estate agency, and the idea behind it was to set up a property sales business focusing on apartments and with its core principle being choice, or two core principles, the choice and relationship selling. Our previous business was probably focused on a parochial area in Bayside, Melbourne, maybe over 2 or 3 suburbs. Today we basically cover most of Victoria, and hopefully by the end of 2010 we'll move interstate and have representation elsewhere. About 12 months into our, probably even earlier, but I would think within the first 12 months of our association with the Board of Management, I could start to see that the business was growing, and it was growing quite rapidly in various areas. And as the business started to grow, so too did the challenges. I think at that point in time, when a business owner is faced with those challenges, he or she needs to make an assessment at that point as to whether he or she is getting the right sort of advice from external consultants. It is very, very easy to make rash decisions based on enthusiasm, based on short-term outcomes, and sometimes those rash decisions, which often may be based on good, sensible business logic, have long-term ramifications for the business. I can give you numerous examples of decisions that were made regarding consultants, which were very costly, and I would think a polite way of putting it would be that the result was disappointing. The main difference is the promises, and they break up into these 2 categories. One was, we can revolutionise your business, or we can come up with answers in 3 months. Pay us a large amount of money up front, or a large amount now, a large amount on conclusion of the contract, and we will deliver a result to you. I think with Glenn and Ivan we have a different situation. There is no large payment up front. It's not a question of, well, here's the contract, it's going to be 3 months and you're going to pay us this amount of money. It's more a situation, it's an ongoing relationship. So I think there's the difference. Second of all, I don't think these outrageous promises of outcomes, they're not part of the deal. Glenn plays probably a dual role at the moment. The first is as a member of, if you like, a board of management. So we have a board of management made up of Ivan and Glenn, basically. We have 2 different personalities there, and they probably represent 2 ends of the management spectrum. And I find it's refreshing to get that dual approach. I think it's been a relationship of trust. I think it's been a relationship of reliance and stability. Mostly, when we look at advice from Glenn, it's where we have specific issues, and that's evolved now to be a situation where he's involved in several areas and several divisions of the business. Where a business owner has a strategy to grow his or her business, things start to happen. Often those activities, those events, those outcomes are very difficult to manage unless there are advisors and consultants out there that can assess the growth and provide some stabilising advice. If a business owner remains with their current professional advisors, accountants, solicitors and others, and is not assessing them on a regular basis in relation to their suitability to an expanding business, then they're doing themselves a disservice. And often they need to look at making a change, otherwise it's basically baggage.